Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Carleen. We've got 2 kids and a dog, and 6 years ago, we bought this house.
After 6 years, it's still nowhere near finished.
Oh, God.
We had a crack at reality TV with plans to finish the reno.
That was not a huge success.
We're pretty... We walked away with $10,000 for over 3 months' work. So, after 6 years, we're still renovating.
Slowly. So now we're going out in search of great design ideas. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, it's actually new.
We're looking for inspiration.
We're helping others put their renovations together.
And learning a few things along the way. We were honestly planning out how we were going to...
And hopefully, we'll find the balance between business, family, and finally finishing our dream home.
This morning, we've set up a phone meeting with our mate, Deanne Jolly. She's doing a renovation in Melbourne that sounds very interesting.
Hello, Miss Carleen.
Michael and Carleen.
When we did Australian reality TV show The Block, we became friends with Dee and Daz.
They're a husband and wife design and reno team like us.
And like us, they bombed out at auction, making just $10,000.
Of course, then they went on another series of The Block where they made close to $1 million. Anyway, we've stayed in touch.
What's been going on?
Yeah, Billy, we just started doing our renovation.
We heard that and we want to come check it out.
I love Dee and Daz. We sort of hit it off from day one on The Block. You know, we spent a lot of time together, so we really got to know them. And Dee and Daz were kind of portrayed as the villains in the series.
Can't say that.
Okay, well, I won't.
But yeah, I guess...
You're searching for words.
And we need some design inspo for our own house.
I love that.
Okay.
Tell Daz I'm going to be going over his work, so it better be tip-top.
Up to scratch.
Oh, gosh, no pressure.
Well, we're going to plan a trip down, so we'll let you know. It'll be soon, though.
Love to catch up.
See ya.
We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Nice chat, but now it's back to work. We've just had the tiled splashback installed in the kitchen, and today I'm using a clear matte lacquer to protect these gorgeous recycled timber shelves. Outside, Michael is working on removing the massive concrete slab. It's slow going, but we're saving money by hiring an excavator and doing it ourselves. We sort of have a love-hate relationship with this house because we've been sitting on it for so long. It's been 6 years now, and we've definitely improved it. But it's been in such small steps that we're getting impatient. This is not a normal house. There's rumour around the fact that it was used as a gentleman's club. It was actually used as the clubhouse for a health resort. There was a window into the pool from the bottom level.
That was for the gentleman's club, I think. So the women could swim in the pool.
They can use
and the men could look through.
They can use their imagination. Being in the design and renovation business makes it all the more hard for us to be living in a renovation for so long because I want to create these like beautiful spaces which I just can't do.
People come over and they go, oh, you guys are interior designers, wow.
After the break, we pop down to Melbourne and visit Daz and Dee's worksite. And later...
Oh my God.
What an incredible transformation.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Reno. I'm Michael.
And I'm Carleen. We have 2 kids, Paddy and Stella. Stella is like me in that she's a little more reserved. Paddy is all Michael, really quite outgoing and self-assured.
And loud. So loud.
Really loud.
So this week's been a little frustrating for us. Our renovation has come to a screaming halt.
Bye-bye, Daddy.
See the guy. Nice.
We've sort of done as much as we can do with the money that we had.
Come on.
know, we were hoping by now the bank would have come through and our finance would be approved, but it hasn't. So it's tools down until we get that okay.
So, we've called the grandparents in for babysitting duty, and we're heading down to visit our mates Deanne and Darren, who are restoring a lovely old Californian bungalow in the super classy Melbourne suburb of Kew.
So this particular area of Kew is really beautiful. We've always lived in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, and we still are in the eastern suburbs. We're close to the freeway that goes to the city.
We're not far from the city.
Beautiful families around here.
Lots of great schools.
Yeah, so I think
it's a great area.
It's a good area.
Hi guys.
Hey, how you going?
I think it's the first time we've seen them in a long time,
Yeah.
so it'll be good to see them again. And
I'm looking forward to hearing about their renovation and what they're planning.
So welcome to the pavilion. Thank you. Okay, I wanted to see more, so you're going to talk me through it.
Yeah, okay, so we're at we're at the entrance here. We've got the beautiful old heritage door that we're having restored. So we've just put the LED light in there, and obviously we've got to paint and do everything else to the door there, so it's not quite restored yet, but it will be.
What colour?
Oh look, I'm partial to really dark front doors. I know some people like to do statement doors, but I'm thinking probably domino or one of those dark,
What happened with the front facade? Because I know I saw on TV there was a couple of issues. Yeah. Neighbours complaining.
yeah, well, these are the original photos we've got.
Yep.
And you can see in the photos that the house is gone.
It looks like a full knockdown.
Yeah. The front pillars on the veranda were on a lean. No one had lived in here for years.
Yep.
So when we were taking the house apart, we got to those parts that were rotten, and the materials that were there, you can't work with those. You have to replace them. So
Yep.
I rang the surveyor, and she wrote a report. And then that particular weekend, it was really windy, so I made the decision for safety reasons, to take it down, because we knew we were always going to build it back up the same way it was. The bricks that were holding up the veranda, we've took them off carefully and cleaned them and put them back up. So the bricks that you see now are the original bricks.
Right.
The roof tiles, we took them off and left all the moss all over them.
Yeah, it looks great.
Same windows and the same style weatherboard. So really, the only difference is the frame is newer and safer, obviously.
Right.
So this side's obviously the functioning side for washing machine, dryer and all that sort of thing. I've got a drying cupboard in there as well. So pretty much everything that I think you'd need in that space for a family.
These are your tiles.
They're my tiles, yeah.
A couple of days earlier, Dee, and Daz too for some reason, had popped into National Tiles. Like Michael, Daz really has no interest in finishes, colours and that sort of thing when it comes to design.
What about these ones?
Which ones?
Yeah, when Carleen starts talking about the colours of stuff, the textures of stuff,
You like these?
Yeah.
For the bathroom, for the floor or the walls?
I just tune out and just go to my happy place, basically, and wait for the hours to pass until the decision's made.
So I'm really loving these choices. I think this is going to be one bathroom with this on the floor, and I love a classic white matte tile. I love that. So the palette's working, everything's working. I think the only thing missing is we need some wow factor.
And I've got the perfect tiles.
Oh, the marble, that is just beautiful. So Daz, what do you think? This is our final selections.
Yeah, nice.
You love them?
Yeah, these are beautiful.
Ah, good old Daz, helping make those tough choices.
Thanks, Marie. Bye.
Lovely to see you guys. Hope to see you soon.
No worries, I'll see you soon.
No worries.
Cheers,
See ya.
thanks.
So anyway, by the time we arrived, Dee had chosen some really lovely finishes. This is the ensuite.
Yeah.
So what's going to be on the floor?
On the floor is bluestone.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
bluestone. So these are for the feature walls.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely.
So can I show you the most exciting part, the kitchen, living, dining? I hope you like it. I'm very
I
excited
hope I
about
like it
I hope you do too.
I
Let's
wanna
go and have a
see.
look. So, what do you think of this?
Beautiful. Wow.
I think this is going to be, you know, the big wow of this house.
Yeah,
Obviously, we designed it so that this would be the space that people would be blown away by.
Beautiful.
that
And this
we're
is where
gonna
you'll
enjoy.
spend all your time.
We'll spend all our time
Yeah.
here. The kitchen's over there. We've got like a 3.5 metre marble bench.
And the boys with their feet up.
And the boys,
Standard.
yeah. No.
We're just
that's
we're
interesting.
we're talking about what we're going to do. We're just setting out today and what we're
Yeah,
going to do.
you need a
Working it
good
out.
solid plan. Yeah.
We were honestly planning out how
Planning.
we were going to.
What about this? We need all the beams
We
up.
are considering
bit of
put
painting
some
to do.
rafters up.
Good, good. Okay, good.
But
We'll look forward
probably
to that.
after
won't we?
smoker.
Even though the roof in the main living area is self-supporting through a combination of reinforced timber frames and steel I-beams, Dazza is adding some recycled Oregon rafters as well.
I think it looks good. Let's get into it.
Righto.
Hopefully, the exposed beams will match the style of a home built in the 1920s.
When I went to give Daz a hand with these rafters, I wasn't quite sure what he was doing and where he wanted everything, so I let him mark it.
Oh, do you want to chisel that out?
Yeah.
And then I cut it. And then when we're putting it up, it was, I think, 20 mil short. Daz stuffed the measurement up. He reckons that I stuffed the measurement up. So I think on that, we're just going to have to agree to disagree.
Coming up next, it's back to work in Talabudra.
And then, the big reveal.
Welcome back to Ready Set Reno. In this episode, we're following our mates Daz and Dee as they renovate their 1920s Californian bungalow in the Melbourne suburb of Kew. Darren is a licensed builder, which means he's allowed to install permanent structures like decking around the pool and reclaimed wooden rafters in the ceiling, which are looking pretty good, by the way. For the landscaping, Daz and Dee are using our mate, landscaper Dave Franklin.
He's one of Australia's best landscapers. Not only that, he's just a champion, and so that's something they can just give to him, and he'll be able to just deliver an amazing design that's going to fit in with that style of house.
With the planting and paving in safe hands, it's time to finalise the interior finishes. But Dee has a case of decision overload. Time to call her mate, Dulux colour consultant Bree.
I've got a dilemma. I've got about 4 or 5 of your gorgeous greys in front of me and I cannot decide. Are you around? Could you come and help me choose?
Yeah, I've got time now. If you want me to come through?
Oh, that would be so great. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Awesome. See you then.
Bye.
A great idea if you're struggling with colour choices is to get hold of a professional colour consultant like Bree. A colour consultant comes to your space, looks at the colours and textures you've chosen, and helps you find the right look. With Bree's help, Dee quickly cuts her colour choices down to 2.
I think Carleen and Dee have 2 completely different styles. Carleen's a bit more eclectic, whereas Dee is, you know, more sort of classical Hamptons. That's her style that she loves and she does well. So,
Shake.
you know, I can't really give you an answer on who is better, Carleen or Dee.
And he wouldn't dare because I'm sitting right next to him.
No, Carleen's definitely the better designer. Boom! Put that down.
Back in Kew, Dee and Bree have painted their colours out on V-board, and Bree has one final piece of advice for Dee.
Oh, no, just what I would do is just to make absolutely sure it works with all the other finishes is tonight when you can turn your lights on. Just check it in a couple of different lighting.
Yes,
so it can change a little bit under the warmer lights.
Later, Dee also gets working on her bathroom choices, where all the important decisions are made. In her car.
So I'm just on the Reese website. They've got a fantastic tool here that helps me work out the layout of the bathroom and exactly where I want everything to be so I know it fits and it works really well.
Back in Talabudra, we've had a win, as the bank has come through with the finance to get our slab professionally demolished.
What I was trying to do was break off the cement one tiny piece at a time. At the rate I was going, it would have taken a year. This bad boy just smashes these reinforced slabs in half. The rest of the slab is just resting on dirt and gets perforated like a giant salada biscuit. Over a couple of days, it gets ripped up and popped in a truck. In the end, the whole thing took about a week.
I think the problem with me building our own house is I've got a case of OCD, really, where... No, hang on, not OCD.
Oh, ADD.
ADD, that's what it is.
That's very different.
Gains. So I'll build something over here
Like a cubby house.
That cubby house is fine. I don't know why the kids don't play in that.
So he's built a half a cubby house and half a house.
Anyway, the point of the story is that I find it hard to finish some tasks.
That is the moral of the story, you're right.
That might be a generalisation, but builders generally don't want to come home and build their own home.
Of course, there are exceptions to that. And coming up next, we jump forward a couple of months and get a look at the incredible job Daz and Dee have done.
Welcome back to Ready Set Reno. So it's been a few months since we've been down and seen Dee and Daz's house, and we're pretty excited to see how it's coming along. You know, we know these two, we know it's going to be pretty spectacular.
I'm really nervous. I hope they like all the choices we've made.
I actually really liked their front fence, and the front facade of the house is beautiful.
Hello, Duffies. It's so good to see you. Welcome.
How are you going?
Beautiful. So far, so good? Yes. Come and have a look.
I think walking through their front door, you know, it's everything we expected from Dee and Daz. You know, everything's finished perfectly, it's styled perfectly.
I think they've done a really beautiful job of the interior design because they've kept all the colours really neutral, which for resale purposes is key. You don't want to be doing anything that might polarise the market. It's completely pulled together the way it should be, and as expected, every last detail has been ticked off. But not only that, they're quality finishes, and that's what people in that area specifically will be looking for.
So, typical Melbourne day. I'm very sorry, Queenslanders. I know you can't cope. You've got a jacket on, probably the only one you own.
I had to buy a jumper at the airport.
Oh, we actually did. It's the only thing we can't control. So, but the house is cosy in all weather.
Beautiful.
We've got a fireplace and everything, so it's nice and warm.
Timber floors.
Yeah, it's a shame we can't see the outside area on a sunny day, but yeah. Yeah,
but I actually want to see the rest of the house.
I really want to show you the powder room.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yep, and some other rooms. There's lots to show you. Come have a look.
Got any beer?
So I took Carleen around for a little tour.
Ooh, look at this door.
Do you like that?
It's very grand.
It is.
Ooh, it's not heavy? Oh no,
It's not, no.
nice and light.
My favourite room in this home is actually the powder room.
Oh my goodness.
Just because it's this little pocket of something different.
Look at your wallpaper.
She liked the dark wallpaper and the texture in there. I think she's drawn to texture.
And your little basket.
This is all Home by Tribal, all this cute stuff. So yeah, really gorgeous, good vibe.
Show me the others.
I would love to show you them after.
Oh, look at that colour.
Master, do you love that?
I love it.
Do you know Scarlett picked that?
Did she?
Yeah.
A designer in the making.
Yeah, I gave her a couple of options and we painted them out and she picked that and she's very proud of it.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
What colour is it?
It's Dulux Green Sea.
Yeah,
And
nice.
it's my current favourite.
I love it.
So, come and have a look at the ensuite, the dark and sexy
Oh,
ensuite.
It is dark and sexy.
It is.
Look at that beautiful bluestone.
Oh, I'm glad you like that.
And there's actually just the right variance of grout colour so that you can see the pattern.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
it.
nice.
Yeah, oh good. You notice all of the details,
I
don't you?
And I love that really striking pattern in the marble.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really soft too. It's called silk.
Yeah, well done.
Thank
So
you.
this is a bit of a contrast to the main bathroom, which is sort of a lighter
It's pretty much the
scheme.
opposite.
Well, maybe we should go have a look at that one.
Let's look at it.
Okay.
So, master bathroom. Yeah, so it's really the opposite.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
got
it
the
is.
beautiful Carrara marble.
Yeah, that's nice.
Herringbone.
And then your light oak.
Yeah, and light oak. And I just thought for a main bathroom, you just want it to feel just a bit lighter and more neutral, yeah. And then we've got the big stone bath in here, which I think you always have to have in a main bathroom.
Yeah, and how beautiful
Yeah,
is that
isn't
organic
it?
basin?
I love that basin.
Love it.
Yeah, and heated towel rails, heated underfloor,
Yeah.
so all the kind of luxury things that you would expect to see.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Study.
What next?
I
Oh,
really
just
want you to
across
see
the
this
hall.
study just across the hall.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Do you love this?
Yeah, I really
I love
like
this room.
the grey vertical panelling
I
against
love it
that
with
timber.
the timber.
Yeah.
So that's the same timber as the
Beautiful.
floor, the beautiful.
Oh, is it?
And then I
Beautiful.
just really wanted this space. I mean, I work from home, you work from home, so
Yeah.
I've kind of tried to think of everything. I've
Yeah,
got,
you have.
you know, cupboards here where you can put all your internet connections and
Yeah.
printer and all that sort of thing.
Paperwork,
There's
stationery.
plenty of paperwork, room for paperwork in all these drawers
Yeah.
under here. And so I'm just kind of visualising sitting there on your laptop,
Yeah.
sit over here, get a breath of fresh air, make a few
Yeah.
calls.
You've actually created a beautiful sanctuary
Thank
for
you.
your office.
So that was really a good confidence thing for me. We haven't really shown many people,
No.
and certainly no one whose taste we really
value
like theirs, so it was good.
I'm really liking in this house their use of black hardware, so the hinges and the door handles and the curtain rods, and I'd really like to implement that into our own house.
So while Dee was taking Carlene around the house and showing her all the features, Michael and I were just chilling, catching up on old times.
Chilling.
That's a nice painting.
It's waves.
You know, Daz and I sat down, had a couple of beers, and you know, conversation was flowing. The ceiling take you long?
Yeah, it took a while. We didn't want to see any bolts, any nails, any screws. We didn't want to see any of those. So that was what took us the longest, is being able to structure it and build it so you don't see any of those things. Because as you saw when you walked around the corner there, is that this will probably sell it for us. So people who walk into this area will love this area, because you don't really see this in a modern house, and it's sort of, we might turn it into a bit of a signature thing for us.
My favourite part of this house is definitely exposed rafters in the living room.
You said explodes.
In Ditto. And is that the rafter that you stuffed up?
I think the one that you messed up, I had to put it down there because it was the shortest one, because you cut it too short.
That extra effort that they went to, it's just created a hero piece of the house. And what about the garden? Like, the thing I like most about this room is you do open straight out onto the pool.
Yeah.
Out in the back entertainment area, they used a lot of palms. They wanted to keep it really lush.
We wanted a nice big deck, and you know, old David from Franklin Designs, he decked us out with all the garden, which looks amazing.
And did Dave do the front yard as well?
So Dave did pretty much the whole lot. You know, he did the driveway, the paving, all the front and all the back. So we gave him a brief. We wanted lush, green, established plants. We didn't want little seedlings that takes ages to grow. We wanted something established and a growing garden. That's what we got.
Looks absolutely amazing, mate.
Thanks, mate.
So we were about to say goodbye to Carlene, and we looked around to see where Michael was. What is it?
Apparently Mike's talking about jumping in the pool.
I couldn't believe that Daz hadn't christened it yet. So I thought it was my duty to just test it to make sure that it was good for selling.
It wasn't your duty.
It wasn't, and it was ridiculously cold.
We're in Melbourne, and it's 10 degrees.
What a hero.
That's colder than I expected.
They did really well at auction. They made 2.9, I think.
They were smart with the decisions that they made. They spent the money in the right spots. So I think, I think they've done pretty well, and I reckon they'd be looking for the next project.
We'll probably look for another period house. We love period homes, so create another beautiful family home that will last for another 100 years.
Really, it makes me feel a little bit jealous because they've just finished this house in, just under a year, and we are nowhere near finishing ours.
But we have a vision for it. We have a really good design for it, and we know that once we finally get there, it will be worth it. But in the meantime, it's really difficult.
On the next Ready Set Reno.
They've bought what's called an Ashgrovian Queenslander.
It's had one owner, so it's basically been untouched.
Wow.
Have a go at those ceilings.
They got their work cut out for them.
Let's just say I've got a possum under my sink.